Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gabriel, founder, National Coordinator, Green Mobilization Initiative, an observer NGO based in Abuja, Nigeria. I would like to thank each and every one of us for being part of this side event, tagged Law and Governance for Ambitious Finance and NDCs. I also want to thank the lead NGO for their coordination. In this COP, I'm expecting that it will deliver on climate finance. We expect parties in the developed countries to adhere to the Paris Agreement to combat the effect of climate change. This is required so that countries, especially countries in the global south, will be able to implement their NDCs. Climate change is devastating our environment. Just recently in Borno, in Nigeria, that city had one of the worst floods in the history of that town. We lost over 150 lives and 419,000 people were displaced. They were displaced of their livelihoods, and in most cases, they are left with nothing. This is the more reason why, as civil society groups, we are clamoring for the operationalization of the loss and damage fund. Our communities, they need climate finance. They need climate finance. So this COP, we are hoping that it will be COP not just to come and talk and talk. We need action. We need action. And the livelihood of our people is being affected. People are displaced. Loss of lives. I will implore every speaker tonight in this side event to come to terms with the urgency that is required in the delivery of Paris Agreement. Thank you very much.
Excellencies, colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Omoyemen Lucia Emmanuel, Director International Research and Policy Advocacy at the Center for Human Rights and Climate Change Research. I'm also a law teacher. I welcome you to this side event titled Legally Bold, Law and Governance for Ambitious Finance and NDCs, hosted by Climate Law and Governance Initiative, Center for International Sustainable Development Law, Rio Grande do Sul State Chapter of the Brazilian Bar, the Center for Human Rights and Climate Change Research, and the Green Mobilization Initiative. Urgent climate finance is essential to meet the Paris Agreement goals and avoid climate catastrophe. It is essential at COP29 that a financial framework is agreed that will be able to support vulnerable countries, and this needs a sacrifice from the wealthier nations. Law and governance and human rights-based approach to climate financing is very, very essential to shape the responsibilities of climate finance and promote participation, address human rights and social inequalities, strengthen assessment frameworks, shape equality in assessing climate finance. Therefore, the key elements of the new collective quantified goals on climate finance should include human rights, climate justice, and gender equality. Also, human rights principles and standards should inform all action to address loss and damage. Legal boldness is needed to envision, drive, and sustain ambitious climate finance NDCs and ensure that loss and damage meets human rights prescriptions and obligations. This side event is expected to chart a course for legal boldness through its stimulating and very educative roundtables, discussions, and outcomes that will cover law and governance perspective for the new collective quantified goal on climate finance, law and governance for loss and damage intervention, and interactive sections to shape and strengthen our position. I thank you all for joining us at this side event. I wish you fruitful deliberations with intentional key messages that will shape and strengthen the outcomes of COP29. Thank you.